Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. I'm going to look at this KLOM tubular key cutting machine. Now, it's basically a big chunk of metal, and the reason it's good is because if you're working on tubular locks or you need to make a key for a tubular lock and you don't have a key machine, you can use this little handheld device to actually cut a key. The way it works is, here's your little plunger, you push this in the back, you rotate it until it's done its cutting, and you set your heights by these ones here, which is indicated by a mark here. When you're changing positions, you need to pull this out to about there, rotate your depth and rotate your key. In the inside here, it has a little notch to accommodate the key, as you can see, and as you rotate it, it goes round. Two locating lunks here to slide together, and when not in use, it compacts to about that size there, so it's fairly small. It's about 50mm by probably about 80 or 90mm all up. Up the top here you've got your spacing, and down the bottom you've got your depths. So what we'll do now is we'll just take that cutter out. We're going to load up a key. I have a tubular cam lock here, and if we didn't have a key we could go through and actually pick it, but we do have a key, so it'd be easier just to read the key. But if we didn't, we could go through and pick the lock and then use our tool here, which also comes with one of these decoders, and then decode it. To decode, you simply put the tool up against here and you go down these steps until you find the one that marries up with the height of the cut. Alright, so let's load it up. So there's a little notch right here, and that's where my key will sit. So when it's rotated, it clicks. Okay, so I'm going to set it to about the sort of 12 o'clock position there, and then I'm going to rotate this around till it falls in. Should be somewhere there. Okay, so that's on the 0 position now. 0 there, and this top notch of the key is lined up with all these screws. So here's my depth. So the first thing I need to do is I need to decode this. So if we're going to be going, which direction are we going? We're going to be going anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise to the first position. So I take my key, and from here I use my tool and I work out that that's going to be a 6 cut. Yep, that's a 6 cut. So the more you wind it out, the shallower the cut. The deeper you wind it in, the less the cut. So we're out here, so that's a 6 cut. So all I've got to do is hold it together now and just crank the handle. Actually, it's not going in far enough. There we are. Sorry, we need to be on position 1 there. Okay, now this gap right here is what we're going to be working on. We keep turning it and turning it, applying a little bit of pressure until we've cut that cut. So that's a 6 cut there. Why are we not? Hang on. Okay. The gauge was 1 spin out too far. Should be as close as possible because this is the deepest cut. Okay, so now we've got that gap, and that's about the gap we need. So we'll just push, push. I can hear a little crunching. Okay, so a few little filings came off, and I can see the tip of the cutter coming through there. So that's our first cut done, and I can see it on the key as well. If you want to zoom in, we'll zoom in. See that cut right there? See, it's already done that cut. I'll push that cutter back into it so you can see what's going on. Okay, that's first cut down. So we're just going to work our way around in the anti-clockwise direction for this one. Okay, I'm happy with the next cut being a number 4. So I need to pull this cutter out, rotate it to a 4, which moves this out, allowing me to do a smaller cut. Rotate this here to the 2nd position, and in we go, making sure it's lined up. Now here's our gap that we're working on. You see that gap in between here? That's all the meat we're taking off. A few little crumbs will fall off. You can hear it crunching a little bit. Once it keeps spinning and nothing's happening, you've done the cut. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Next one is a no cut. So third position no cut. Let's go to fourth cut. There's nothing taken off this key here I can see, so I'm quite happy with that. And that's a 2. Next one is a 2, so I have to take that out, crank it up to a 2, make sure it slides all the way in. And for a 2 I'm not really taking off hardly anything, so that's done. That cut is done. And the next one is a 2, and the next one after that is a 2. So making sure it's set on 2, rotating it, pushing down, pulling it back, rotating it. That's good. Those triple 2s makes a lot faster. Okay, so 2, 2, 2, and our last cut here to work on is quite a deep one. It's not a 5. It's looking like a 6. 7, no good. So I'm going to go with a 6. So I'm winding it in to allow it to do a deeper cut, moving it to the 7th position, pushing my plunger in, making sure it's lining up. Now take the meat off. It's not doing anything more. Remove it. Pull this part apart here, and here we have a key. So this little handheld device is good when you don't have money for a key machine. You're only cutting a key every now and again. This works on, I believe, on the 7.8. This particular one here, you probably can get them in different sizes, but 7.8 is good for what we use. And I'm just visually inspecting the key now, and they look, I'll let you inspect as well. Okay, so that's that side. 2 cuts seem the same. That's that side. Looks pretty good. There's our triple 2s. You see, they look pretty good. And then we've got that one deep cut on that side. Our cut looks a little bit deeper. At the moment of truth, here we go. Here's the lock, putting it in, and it's rotating. No clickiness, no crunchy. You put it in, you push it. It's actually quite a good key there. I've cut worse keys off tubular key machines before for some of these type of cam locks. Just comparing. Yeah, same. So that key is not right, but now there's an extra key. So long story short, if you don't have the money for a tubular key machine, this might be an option for you. If you want a device that you can actually produce a tubular key from, then this might be for you. I believe it was like probably about $100, and there it is there. Tubular key machine 7.8 by KLOM. They probably do have different sizes, so just make sure you get the right size for you. It does take a little while to master, and it does take a little while to actually do it, but you got to think about it. It's only $100. It can sit in a drawer in this little tiny box, and if you're producing a key once every blue moon, then at least it's a tool that you can actually do it with. There are other cradles and jigs for these type of tubular keys that you can put on the HPC 1200. You can do it with the laser machine, where it comes down and uses a little mill around the top there. You can also do it on the SEC E9 with a special cradle. You can do it on the Silka Futura with a special cradle, but those cradles are not cheap. I believe it's like $600 to $900 for a cradle for the Silka Futura, and considering the amount of need for it, a lot of the time the lock comes with a couple of keys anyway, so the need for it's not really there. Often it's when you've got no keys at all and you're picking it and you just want to quickly pick it, decode it, and make a key that way. That's where this tool really comes in good, because all you would really need is a key blank, your pick, your key cutting machine, and a key blank, and you should be able to do it. Some Harleys and things also do use this type of setup. I haven't tried it on that, but maybe something along those lines, this type of setup would be good for as well. Anyway, so that's a KLM key machine. Good for some, not for everybody, not for high use, just for doing it by hand, kind of like an impressioning file, so to speak. You could produce a key off it and get it to work. Okay, thanks for watching.